Hey Russell, for my talent this year, I wanted to share, if you are in Carline, you already know that I can do this, and I know some of you are already able to do this, but the talent that I'd like to share this year is the Rubik's Cube. I actually learned how to solve a Rubik's Cube when I was in high school. I had a friend who got interested in it, and we both just learned how to do it together, and it's something that I've remembered how to do, luckily. I'm not just going to do it for you, I'm actually going to walk you through how I solve the Rubik's Cube. And the first thing that I always do is I learned to start with the white side, so that's where I'm going to start with you today because I think it's the one that sticks out the most. You can see it pretty easily. So the first thing we're going to do is, in order to get this white side completely finished, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to figure out the plus sign. Okay, so the plus sign is the middle section, but when I do this, I'm going to make sure that not only do I get the plus sign up here, I'm going to make sure that these colors are going to line up. So the cube that needs to go here is going to be the red and white cube. The cube that goes here is going to be the green and white cube, right? You get it? So if I get the first one in place, actually, you see this white one's already on the top, so I'm just going to rotate that over so that it now lines up with the orange. You see that? Okay, so now I'm just going to do the rest of them that way. All right, there you go. So that was pretty quick and easy, actually. That took a little less time than I was expecting. But now you see I've got the plus sign on top, and I actually have a little extra one there. That worked out nicely. But I got the plus sign on top, and all of the sides line up with the colors of the middle of that. You see that? Okay. So now the next step is obviously to get these corners into place. And look at that, I've already got one in place actually. That worked out really nicely. But when I do this, the corners, and I get the white side completely finished, I want to make sure that I have this first row completely done as well so that it matches the middle square on each of the sides. So I've already got the one in place, I just need to get the next ones. Alright, there you go. We've got one side completely done, and the top row all the way around matches the middle cube on that side. Okay, so that's the first two steps. The next one is, I'm going to actually turn it upside down. Again, it's just the way that I learned how to do it. And what I'm going to do now is, I'm going to try to get this middle row all the way around to match, again, the center colors, right? So the cube that needs to go here is going to be green and orange. Okay, and if I look around, I see that that green and orange cube is right here. You see that? That's the green and orange one. So I got to make sure that I get that in the right spot. And there you go. So now my green and orange line up with the center. So now I got to do it with the rest of them. Alright, there we go. So now my entire bottom is completely done, right? And by the way, I'm not just like figuring this out right now. Like, once you get to these certain steps, there's things called algorithms, that there are certain patterns and combinations of twists that I know I need to do this pattern in order to get that square in the right spot. So I'm just not doing this on the whim, right? These are memorized techniques to figure this out. Okay, so I've got the bottom two rows now, and I've got the white still. And what I'm going to do now is that same plus sign that I started with on the white, I'm just going to do that on the blue on the top. I'm going to make sure that I get that in the right spot. Okay, there you go. Got a blue plus sign on the top. Still have all of the colors around the bottom, right? Still got the white on the bottom. So now I need to make sure that this plus sign lines up with the colors. And you can see this yellow one lines up. So if I do that, do all of the sides line up? Oh, they do. Sometimes that's not the case. I got lucky. So all of the sides actually line up with their colors, which is handy. So the next step now is I just have these last four corners to do. So I got to make sure that these go in the right corner, right? If I look around, for instance, I want this corner to be blue, green, and red. Is that the color what it is? You can't see. There it is, yellow, right? So it's blue and red, but it's not green, it's yellow. So I just got to make sure that I put those corners in the right spot. I actually started doing the wrong algorithm, so I'm glad I was able to get back to that. Alright, so there we go. So now you can see I've got the orange, the green, and the blue, and look, this corner right now is in the right spot, it's just not the right angle, right? The blue, it needs to be twisted. But not every corner is in the right spot yet, so I got to do that one more time, leaving that one in the right spot. If I do this, there you go. So now, oh look, it actually already solved one of the corners for me. So now I only have these other 3 corners to do, and you can see I've got red, blue, and yellow, and that's the same color here. So now I just got to fix these last corners and we should be all good. And there we go. Completely solved. And that's my talent. I hope you enjoyed.